Hello everybody, this is Con on the Road. So in recent weeks and months, right, Bobby and I have been talking a lot about buying used cars and all that. But ultimately at the end of the day, right, buying new versus buying used, right, it all boils down to balancing your own preference, your own needs, your own wants versus your budget. Okay, so there are pros and cons on whichever way you go. Okay, whether you buy new or you buy used, each approach has its pros and cons. So one of the comments that came up was another risk about buying used car is that there is a greater risk that you can gonna con by the dealer or by the bogus seller and whatnot. But what if I tell you, you are just as liable to being conned by a new car dealer? Okay, allow me to explain. There is less of a likelihood that a new car dealership would cheat you out of your money. When you walk into a new car dealership, you pay for a 70,000 or 75,000 or 80,000 Toyota Vios. You are very likely to get what you pay for. But one thing you have to watch out for is you may gonna a dishonest salesman. Now this is not specific to any brand. This kind of thing can happen to any brand, whether you're shopping with a budget of 50,000 or 100,000, 150,000, right? There is always that risk of running into a dishonest new car salesman due to reasons beyond the control of the dealership. Okay, so let's say, and these kind of things can happen due to whatever reason. And for example, right now is World Cup, right? For all we know, maybe this particular salesman bet a lot of money on Germany, Mexico, and then gonna burn. Along knocking on his door, he's desperate for money, so this guy may end up cheating people's money lah. Okay, so this kind of thing is beyond the dealership's control, is beyond the brand principal's control, and they can ultimately sack that said salesman, but it is not before some degree of damage is done. And so the thing is, how do you avoid being victim of that damage? Okay, so I mean, it's quite straightforward really. You see, all these new car dealerships, right, they have very firm, what you call it, because they're all big companies, so their procedure of buying and selling a car with them, right, is actually very, very regulated one. Okay, and so for example, you walk into a Nissan showroom, you order a Nissan Almera, for example. Then when finally comes time to sign the dotted line, and you will have to put a deposit down lah. Okay, so the one way that you can be so the one important step is that when you sign all these papers, when you sign all these papers, make sure you have a copy one, and make sure, right, on the order form and all these things, right, make sure there is an official chop from the dealer, official dealer's stamp. Okay, from what, UMW Toyota Motor or Adrian Tanchong Motor or Ingress Auto or Cycle and Carriage, but there must be that stamp, official company stamp of that dealership somewhere on the papers, signed by the salesman, okay, to show that this is a valid piece of document. One, also you have to insist that there is a receipt, okay, a receipt to show your booking. Okay, you paid your 500 ringgit booking, your 1000 ringgit booking and all that. You must have that receipt, that official receipt. Okay, and when you pay, where possible, avoid paying cash. Okay, because I have a friend who operates a dealership. I'm not going to disclose the brand because this kind of thing can happen to any brand one, so I'm not going to disclose the brand. So what happened is that they had the misfortune of encountering what you call it, a bogus of hiring a questionable salesman in their staff lah. And what this guy did was that, right, he collected bookings from various customers. Okay, various customers. He collected a lot of bookings, and he collected cash. Then he issue fake receipts to the customers, and then after a couple of months, customer calls, oh, car coming. End up, right, in a few months time, the fella just disappeared without a trace. Okay, so the thing is that, so here's the thing, when you pay for deposit, whatever transactions that you make, right, always where possible pay by check. Okay, pay by check addressed to the company, not to the salesman, to the company, because the transaction would then be locked into the company system. They cannot lari already. So that is a very simple precaution that that you should take lah. Because if pay cash, right, even though let's say like the salesman issue you receipt and whatnot, these things can be forged one. Okay, but whereas when you pay by check, the chances of you gonna con and all that becomes substantially less. Yeah, so yeah, this is a very simple little precaution that that you all can take the next time when you go and buy a vehicle. But whether is it new or used, right, it is always better when you, whatever payment that you make, pay to the company's official accounts. That way there is no dispute or argument whatever anywhere along the lines. Okay, so that's it from me for this video. Until my next video, thanks for watching. Bye for now.